Yeah.
Think what happened.
I'm fine. Definitely, I think what befell me and Margie was, we got together at a point in our life where we had both fizzled at this wretchedly, and it simply wasn't a choice. Enormous blast is in the structure, you understand what I mean, and I know it will be a ton of hateration. Activity in this dancery, in a contort nobody saw coming. Marjorie Harvey winds up at the focal point of what may be the current year's greatest VIP embarrassment, the murmurs she's been engaged with a drawn on but relationship with, in all honesty, William Large Blast Freeman, and consider the possibility that we let you know that the Large Blast is exceptionally furious and is intending to totally obliterate the Harvey family. Now you understand what Steve, for my well-being, I will say purportedly, yet in the event that this man don't say supposedly, and he comes clean, you can't blow up at me, Steven. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Live Station. And who precisely is William Freeman for those new to the Harvey family elements? Freeman has been wearing various caps for more than 20 years. He has not exclusively been the mass of safety around Steve Harvey, yet additionally the man behind a portion of Steve's One dishes, serving part-time as the family's very own gourmet specialist on the grounds. That Marjorie Harvey and Steve Harvey are denying it, and Large Blast purportedly said he's still enamored with her. Now Steve, you saying Steve Harvey knew? As the media twirled with hypothesis it was Freeman. N's new telephone interview that sent shockwaves across media outlets. In a practically dreamlike admission, he focused on his 20-year stealthy relationship with Marjorie. He guaranteed that this wasn't some confidential from Steve. No, considerably more surprising was his disclosure in regards to Lori Harvey. In a voice loaded with feeling, Freeman expressed that Lori, the design dear and rising force to be reckoned with, is his natural little girl. Yes, you are Lori Harvey's dad. In the event that that was since sufficient to keep the fans nervous, Freeman dropped one more sensation. He declared plans for a forthcoming live meeting, prodding that he's prepared to spill more mysteries about the Harvey family that the world doesn't know about. What those insider facts may be, he passed on to our creative mind, yet expectation is at an unequaled high, so you're not much. They don't believe that you should not express anything about what's truly happening while the world was wrestling with Freeman's disclosure. Marjorie wasn't quiet for long. In a move that features her purpose, she energetically denied the charges tending to her gigantic web-based entertainment. Following, she completely disproved each case, guaranteeing the stage is set for considerably more emotional improvements in this unfurling adventure. My better half, and I don't as a rule stop to address all the silliness and falsehoods that have been spread about us, she composed, adding, anyway, to whom which is given much is required. I comprehend that with my foundation comes some kind of obligation to those that may not be areas of strength, for however we may be in a story where feelings run profound, William Huge Blast Freeman is by all accounts bearing the heaviest heart. Inviters near him paint the image of a man stunned, one who put stock in the chance of an existence with Marjorie. They murmur of innumerable evenings where Freeman would trust his fantasies and goals of building a daily existence outside the shadows of the Harvey domain. For him, Marjorie was something beyond a mysterious undertaking. She was his first love, the lady he wanted to become old with. Yet, as in any complex snare of connections, there are more players and more sentiments having an effect on everything. Lori Harvey's job in the adventure, as per similar insiders, isn't similarly as a guiltless observer. I feel that was all there was to it for me. I think since I was youthful, I was all the while attempting to sort out what my identity and do I like, and Freeman failure in her is obvious. The claims recommend that Lori, completely mindful of her actual genealogy, selected the excitement, charm, and open doors that accompanied the Harvey name, a choice Freeman accepts is established in desire. As opposed to heart, the close to home, I rest on them. They're similar to you're great, you got this, and afterward likewise, like knowing when it detaches. Some of the time I believe is extremely significant. Expectation is a strong inclination, and for Freeman it appears it was the main thrust. He stuck to the conviction that Marjorie would ultimately pick him, getting out of the extravagant shadows to fabricate something certified to Freeman. This wasn't just about energy, it was about guarantees, murmured in quieted tones, longs for a future where they could be a family, yet reality has an approach to drenching the most intense of blazes. Marjorie's public position, her passionate disavowal of the charges, and in particular her relentless obligation to her marriage. Steve sent an unmistakable message she wouldn't leave her better half, and the imagined future Freeman had gripped onto. now appear to be a far-off delusion, as the residue chooses this section. One thing is clear: the feelings, the fantasies, and the disloyalties are a long way from being done with. William Enormous Blast Freeman's time by Steve Harvey's side crossing a stunning 20 years. It's difficult to disregard the abundance of insider information he might hold. Not many can fail to remember. 2018 meeting, where Steve referenced your nearest partners in some cases find out about you than family for Freeman's situation. This has never been more able, being in such vicinity to Harvey throughout the long term. He has, without a doubt, seen the highs, the lows, and in the middle. Between making his impending disclosures significantly more guessed, this carries us to the core of the Harvey family freely. The Harveys have forever been viewed as the worldview of familial solidarity, their yearly fame. Illy relaxes, wonderfully caught, and showed on Marjorie's Instagram portray love and holding anyway. A 2019 article in Celeb Insider Week by Week cited an anonymous source near the family saying, "In secret, things aren't dependably as they appear." Could large blast declaration give a more profound investigate the genuine elements of the Harvey family? Steve Harvey's image, worked over years, has consistently revolved around family confidence and satire. His total assets assessed at $300 million in 2023 wasn't a result of his humor yet. In addition, his appeal and the trust his crowd set in him, any huge disclosures from Freeman could mean ruin for this painstakingly developed picture, as Marjorie once expressed in a 2017 Vanity Fair meeting. Brands are about endlessly. Trust is delicate now. One of the most murmured reports yet unverified addresses Steve's sexuality. Tattles and tabloids have been abuzz with hypotheses, yet nothing concrete has at any point surfaced, with Freeman nearly a tell-all. The inquiry, all the rage, is: will he shed light on this matter, either subduing the bits of gossip unequivocally or stoking the fire, calling you huge? Yes, gracious. Wow, man, you're a remarkable player, buddy. Like, since you listen, everyone is somewhat rooting for you. Enormous blast as the residues settle. From the underlying shockwave of bits of gossip, the world presently directs concentration toward the forthcoming detailed story interview with Enormous Blast. This isn't simply one more newspaper uncover. It guarantees a direct record from a man who stood quietly by Steve Harvey's side for quite some time. Online entertainment has been burning with expectations and discussions. Many fans are anxious to hear Freeman's side, addressing, assuming he will really let the cat out of the bag, or then again, assuming this is only a perfectly tuned PR move. It's evident that in the realm of showbiz, contentions can be productive. A few pundits are, in any event, contemplating whether this is just a system by Freeman to capitalize on his well-established affiliation. Recall 2011, when pop symbol Brittany Lance's previous guardian took steps to deliver compromising data, just to be met with lawful difficulties. Might Freeman at any point expect a comparative payday from Steve on the other side? Assuming the cases and disclosures end up being valid, this could demonstrate disastrous for the Harvey domain. In 2020, the Forbes Superstar 100 recorded Steve Harvey's profit at an astounding $45 million, a demonstration ion of the trust his image orders. His TV programs, from Family Quarrel to Steve, have delighted in reliable evaluations, underlining the immediate connection between watchers' trust and Harvey and his monetary achievements. Significant organizations like NBC and ABC, who've had established contacts with Harvey, will without a doubt be checking what is happening intently. Assuming that Freeman's statements built up momentum, these organizations might need to re-examine their affiliations as industry mates. Steer Olivia Graham noted in a new meeting with Diversion Today, the outcome of a VIP television show depends on the validity of its host. If that believability of its host, assuming that validity, vacillates, organizations could reconsider their speculation. The Harvey brand, fastidiously created throughout the long term, remains at a dubious crossroads. Brands attached to VIPs more than some other are delicate. Develops when the persona of the VIP is addressed. It isn't their picture in question, it's a whole domain with bunch partners. Only a couple of years back, in 2019, we perceived how rapidly a darling superstar's brand can tumble with the outrage encompassing television. Have Jonathan Stops, once sponsors took out his appraisals, plunged, prompting the inevitable wiping out of his early evening show following the hurricane of charges. Fans have taken to the web to voice their viewpoints, making a virtual front line of suppositions. The opinion encompassing Steve Harvey's flow circumstance has reverberated in internet-based gatherings, particularly on YouTube, is by all accounts separated. One analyst underscored the force of Harvey VIP noticing in light of the fact that you became a web sensation, and you need to comprehend that Mr. Harvey is a tremendous fan base and fans will successfully safeguard individuals that they admire. Mr. Freeman makes no difference to Steve Harvey fans in history. Famous people paying little mind to claims frequently have unflinching help from dedicated fans. Harvey